Welcome back to another Micro Soldering Wednesday. My name is Derek, and today we're going to be covering some of the downfalls of trying to get into micro soldering if you're not exactly sure where to start. So let's get started. Now, a lot is involved with soldering. You've got the soldering iron with different temperatures, you've got different types of tips, you've got different types of solder, different types of flux, different types of logic board, different types of components, a lot of things like that. Along with the knowledge of understanding how the lines on the logic board works, where the traces are, how to rebuild a trace, how to isolate components. There's a lot that goes into it. Today I'm going to take a look at a botched HDMI. Someone tried to replace the HDMI and completely failed. As you can see here, there is plenty of excess solder. Not exactly sure what type of solder this is, so we're going to need to remove it. And there's a bunch of weird residue all over the place. Not sure if this was some type of flux, but from what I can tell, there wasn't much flux used, if any. I'm also very concerned about the components that surround this particular HDMI. There are some diodes, some capacitors, filter that may or may not be there or damaged. So we're going to have to take a look at that. Hopefully none of the pads are missing under the HDMI from them trying to remove it. But overall, it looks like a big mess. The first thing that I'm going to do is start by trying to remove the solder. And as much solder as I can get off that's excess will help in the long run. So what I'm going to do is take my soldering iron and find the temperature at which the solder is melting. I'm going to use flux as needed along with some wick to try to suck up some of the solder. If you're ever finding that solder isn't melting, one thing that you can do is add low melt to it. This will mix with the higher melting solder and make it much easier to remove. I can already tell that things are not lined up properly with some of these components and that we are missing some things as well. The back side of this logic board looks like it's going to need some attention as this little diode here is not lined up properly. And hopefully that means that the pads that it connects to are intact and not torn away. We'll also want to make sure that if they accidentally remove these diodes, that they try to put them back in the proper orientation, because that matters with diodes. Most of these ceramic capacitors and filters, it wouldn't really matter the direction, although on some devices, larger capacitors are directional. So you'll need to check that. So you'll need to either look at the board and it may tell you what's the positive and negative side, or you'll have to refer to a schematic to see which side is positive and negative. I'm going to go ahead and add some flux, and I'm going to heat up and remove this HDMI. And given the status of this HDMI, I'm going to heat it from above, which I normally wouldn't do, just to make sure that all of the solder melts so I'm not pulling any of the pads. Now that I've gotten the HDMI removed, I'm going to analyze the area, and I probably need to clean this up because I really can't tell everything that's missing. Maybe there's a trace that's missing. I want to make sure these components are still good. This diode also being not properly soldered. I'm going to try to put it back, and I may need to freshen up the solder on both sides in order to install it. But with a little patience, a little bit of time, heat, using my rework station, I should be able to put it back into place. And sure enough, I see a trace here that is missing. Luckily, this is something that I can easily track with my eyes. I don't have to refer to a schematic because I can actually see where it went. Rebuilding this trace is going to be somewhat simple. I'm just going to take a single fiber from a wick and run a jumper from the pad that's still intact, luckily, all the way following its line, running up to a test point that will allow me to complete the circuit that was. We'll clean up the board a little bit more, and I'm going to add some low melt solder to all of the pads and freshen up the two pads that where we're missing our little ceramic capacitor. And I'm also going to add a little bit of low melt to the legs to make it easier to solder, given that there is still this unknown solder that was used to try to remove the HDMI. It's fairly easy to add one of these capacitors. My little trick is first starting by using the edge of the soldering iron blade to tack both sides at the same time on the pads. I can then take my rework station and flow it into place by gently nudging it, making sure that it snaps into its most comfortable position. Now let's take a look at the back side of the motherboard, and I'm going to see if we can fix this little diode. I carefully add some solder to it to help loosen it up and move it just to make sure those pads under it are okay, and then I'll be able to solder it back on. And now I can see, looking at it after cleaning it, that the orientation is incorrect. One of the nice things about this logic board you'll see on both diodes, the top and bottom, is it has this little arrow that points to the side where the line on the diode needs to be, because these are directional diodes. So it's really convenient to have that marker. So we'll install it the proper way, making sure that we apply a good amount of solder, and that it's nice and aligned, and then we'll be able to install our HDMI.
Alright, it doesn't look pretty, obviously, from all of that solder at the beginning. Whoever tried to do it, we plug in what we need to so that we can turn it on. It's fan spin. Let's see if we get image. There it goes, coming on. Alright, so yeah, all of that nastiness, we're able to fix it. Now I just need to put it back together.
So you can see that there are definitely some things that can go wrong if you don't know the proper techniques and you don't have the proper tools in order to do it. Having flux, solder, right soldering iron, temperature, and tips really make a difference. Now obviously this is a very simple repair, given that you have somewhat knowledge about the actual circuit right there on the HDMI, but it also shows that understanding how to use flux and how to use your eyes to solve simple problems can go a long way. I know this was a shorter video, so hopefully you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. If there's something that you'd like to see in a future video, let me know as well. Thanks a ton for watching. We'll see you in the next video.